Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We're here with another candidate interview. We're here with Mr. Don Messer. Don, welcome to the studio.
Thanks for having me, Mitch.
All right, so the ground rules first. You have a 60-minute time limit. Use as much or as little of that 60 minutes as you'd like. These are straight cut episodes except for breaks because of this camera here. I got a timer here. About every 8 to 10 minutes we'll reset. No talking about other people, and when I say that, I basically mean names. If we can't figure out who you're talking about, then you're good, and just kind of be nice.
Right.
And with that, let's get into it. If you could please tell us a little bit about who you are.
My name's Donald Messer Jr. My parents were Don and Linda Messer. My mother was a Mayo. Her parents were Joseph and Gracie Mayo, which my grandmother was a Gincha. I graduated in 1992 from Berga High School. Lived here all my life. Started in gaming at the casino. I dealt for a year in 92. The plan was just to be there for 1 year, but here I am 27 years later. I worked my way up into surveillance, and I did the tech work there for probably 15 years, installing the camera systems and stuff. Went to school, got my associate's business degree, and
Where'd you go?
Colorado Technical University.
Okay.
It was online.
Oh, cool.
Did all the schooling through the technology stuff, and
Yep.
from there I went to a casino manager, and now I'm kind of like the jack of all trades. I'm trying to do everything.
So what is your official title right now then?
Casino manager
Casino manager.
of the Berga property.
Berga property. Tell us a little bit about your history with tribal politics.
I was in, from 2013 to 15, I was on council. I kind of wanted to learn more about it and about our culture and stuff, and wanted to make some changes within our businesses. That's kind of how I still feel today.
Yeah.
So that's kind of why I'm running again today.
Was that your first time running when you made it in there?
Yes.
And tell me a little bit about what that first. What was it? Would you say 2013 to when?
15.
15. So a couple terms then. So what were those? What'd you learn from those couple terms?
Well, anybody that's running, I mean, the first year or two is all learning experience because you're learning how things are done, within the politics world and how the actual government works. And to me, it was more of a learning experience.
Yeah.
Since I've been out of there, I've been trying to learn more on what I lacked back then. And I'm hoping I can take them experiences I had since then and put them in this term.
Would you be able to give us a couple of bullet points of a couple of those things you learned that you lacked in that time?
Well, they're contracts. I mean, there are so many contracts for different reasons, and that the lingo on just the contracts I had to learn. And
Okay.
I mean, when you're not used to it,
I got you.
it kind of.
So tell me a little bit about the decision to run this time around. When did that decision come to you?
Different reasons, I think. One was our hiring process, I believe, is just way too long, and the fear of the Marquette Casino not having enough employees to operate the business efficiently.
Yep.
So I would like to at least try to streamline the hiring process a little bit better, and all of us work together as a team to make that happen.
Yeah. So I guess what I'm asking is, when did you know you were running this time around? When did you make the decision, like, okay, I need to get on council so we can get some things changed this time around?
When we started the Marquette project.
Oh, right away.
Yeah.
Okay.
We started the $40 million investment.
When did you write your letter?
That was about a week before the deadline, I think.
Okay. So have you been out campaigning at all?
Yes.
And how's that been
Good so far.
so far? What in your conversations, what have you guys been talking about?
Cannabis adventure, which I'm totally for. I don't know everything about it, but I've been learning, looking it up, doing research on my own. I'm trying to get familiar with it to help that business grow. Another thing I've been hearing is about the voting right.
Yeah.
That's been an issue for years. People have been talking about it. I feel that since everybody's been talking about it this long, it's time that council makes the decision and puts a referendum out there for the people to vote on it.
Yeah.
So that could be moved and we can move on.
Absolutely. I mean, it's time to take a look at that.
Right. I mean, we've been talking about it for years.
So what else is being talked about in that campaigning?
Kind of some of the stuff I've been bringing up, but like I said, the hiring process I think could be more streamlined. The wages, we all know that we're under the minimum wage. Again, we've been talking about that for years too. But, we just keep spending more and more money doing all these analysis when we all know we're underpaid. You know, we got to start treating our employees a lot better because they're the ones who run this tribe.
Absolutely.
They're the one out there busting their butts to make us the revenue that for all these other programs. And they're all getting frustrated. It's hard to hire people. Like I said, I'm jack of all trades because I'm up there cleaning hotel rooms. I'm over there cooking. I'm doing everything I can do to make the business successful.
All right, very good. So we do have these questions on the KBIC Tribal Members page, and we will be going to these questions, which are from the people. Some of them are, kind of framed towards incumbents and not somebody necessarily just running.
Right.
But there's quite a few of them, and like you said, they cover those certain topics, and it's nice to see that this process is bringing those certain topics of our community up. Everybody's talking about those certain things.
Right.
So that's what comes up. So are you ready to answer a couple questions here before we take our first break?
Sure.
All right. Well, just because it's kind of the first thing on your brain here. Well, I can't find the question I want. Well, just can you go a little bit further into the casino projects and what's your opinion on those, I guess?
Well, we're overdue. It was just something that the tribe needed to invest in. But I personally believe that the hotel in Marquette should have went up first before the entertainment center. I would like to see the hotel come into the picture in the future. That's one of the things I would like to see if I get on council. Like
phase
I said,
2, they're calling it.
Yeah, but I don't think there's any plans in the works yet for phase 2.
I was wondering that if people are just calling it
I
phase 2.
haven't seen it. Maybe there
official.
is. I don't know, but as far as I know, there hasn't. It's in the future. That's what they're talking about. So I haven't seen no. I've seen the original plans before it was taken out of the picture, but I don't know if that's still what they're considering phase 2.
I would say that the communication on that probably is something that people are looking for too, because that's one of the questions, like, is phase 2 an official thing or not, and stuff like that. Well, let's go to this question. Actually, no, we're going to reset the cameras. This first timer's coming up already. So we're going to reset right now. Okay, we are back up and running. Timers are set again. And we are just going to go to these questions from the Facebook page, KBIC Tribal Members Facebook page. Let's go to, Robin Chosa. This is going to go to an area we just were talking about. When considering the tribe's current economic status, what do you think can be done to ensure our economic success to keep providing services for our members?
Well, like I had brought up, our hiring process, every department within the casino, the Pines, are all shorthanded. I mean, now I hear the Pines is closing at midnight because they're understaffed. Making sure we can hire people to fill these positions is one way to make sure that our businesses are running as efficiently as they can. Our guest service needs to improve also, so that's one way to kind of make sure our businesses are running smoothly. Okay,
and you did touch on it a little bit, but I want to go back to it. And actually, I'll even pose it in a question here. This one's it's inspired by David Madosh Sr. Do you believe that all members should be included in elections? The off-reservation voting topic. I mean, you touched on it a bit, but I just wanted to give you another chance to get further into it.
Well, see, that's another one of them subjects that we've been talking about for years. The voting rights and stuff. And a couple of experiences I had. My kids that graduated Berga High School and wanted to go out and explore the world and see what's out there. And I encourage that. But in the same process, they're not able to vote. They're not able to voice their opinions and stuff and get involved. Recently, they both came back to the reservation. They're both able to vote now, and they work for the tribe. But they did have that experience of going out there and exploring and doing that, but in the same breath, they weren't able to vote, where they lived here all their life. There ain't much around Baraga County for somebody that with an education or wants to go out for an education, but in the same breath, we're penalizing them for going out there and exploring. I think that would be another one of them topics that the council needs to address and put that out for the people to vote on and move forward.
Do you think that, well, just your preferences, I guess, would you like to see members within ceded territory, or maybe any member living anywhere?
Well, ceded territory would be a good start.
Yeah,
I mean, that's something that, I mean, like myself, I always wanted to live out in the woods, but tribal land is, scarce, and
yeah, I relate to you on that.
So if I wanted to go and move out of town, I'd lose all my voting rights.
Yep.
But I still want to work here for the tribe, and even though I work here, I would be able to vote, and that's kind of why I'm still in Baraga.
Are you a fan of voting by mail or voting electronically?
I like the old-fashioned way, going to the polls.
Yep.
I mean, if you're homebound because of illness or whatever, then those are some options, and we do that currently. So, I mean, that's good.
Yeah, I mean, we always use California, maybe because it's all the way on the other side of the country. But, if you care enough to come home for that, you must care enough to know what's going on a bit.
Right.
So, yeah. But at the same time, though, if we use the technology to make sure people are informed, then they could stay informed and make their informed votes because... Well, yeah, anyways, I'll keep going with the questions.
I must be old-fashioned. I like the polls myself.
Yeah, pros and cons and stuff.
But if you're serious on voting, though, you should be able to, and if you're that serious, you should come back to the res to vote.
Exactly. Should come back to visit anyways.
Right. I mean, there's powwows and everything that's going on, so.
Let's go to this one from Terry Denemy. What would a 5-year strategic plan look like in your eyes, starting with year 1 through year 5?
Well, starting, I would make sure our current businesses are stable, making sure there's enough employees to run them efficiently. The hotel in Marquette would be within the first couple of years, I would think, if we can afford it. Making sure our businesses currently are running efficiently would be the main issue right now for me.
Do you see any other businesses being viable options for the tribe?
Well, the cannabis adventure would be a very good business.
What about outside that? Outside gaming, cannabis, and we got the cigarette company too.
Well, I always believed in when I was on Anakusin, when I was on the council before, I was on the Anakusin board, and we were kind of looking into solar panels and wind turbines, and we had found out that wind turbines really wouldn't work in this area because there's not enough wind in this bowl that we live in.
Okay.
But solar panels, I mean, we could start a business putting solar panels together.
Yep.
Using them for our tribal homes and to lower cost for our members. I mean, the casino right now, currently we spend about $23,000 a month just in electrical bill.
Wow.
I mean, if we were to put solar panels on a roof and even eliminate half of that a month, that's a big savings.
Yeah, and that's a big
plus, it would
thing.
put a lot more people to work putting them panels together and marketing that. And I mean, solar panels are everywhere nowadays.
They are, and then that whole sustainability thing, where that's a big thing. Again, to Michael Dowd's question, what, in your opinion, would be the perfect tribal council member?
Well, I don't know if you could. What was the question? Make them the perfect one?
Yeah, I mean, it's an idealistic question, but what in that spirit, what's the perfect tribal council candidate in your mind?
Well, I don't think there would ever be a perfect one because there's always somebody that's going to be against your ideas or your thoughts. So in one person's mind, you could be perfect. In another person's mind, you might not be so perfect. But to me, I think of somebody that's going to get involved, show up at the meetings, participate, and that looks out for our sovereignty and follows the Constitution and also follows the laws and the rules that the government sets forth.
Okay.
I mean, there's times where the council wants management to follow these rules and regulations that the council approves, but sometimes they don't always follow it themselves.
Okay.
You gotta lead by example.
I gotcha. All right, we're going to reset these timers again. Okay, we're back up and running. Timers are going. And we're going to go back to these questions from Facebook. Let's go to this one from Zena Pitsley. What would each candidate do for our tribe as a whole that the previous council has not?
I can't speak for the rest of the council, but I would like to see most of the council working as a team.
Okay.
Like when I was on council before, it was so divided that nothing could get accomplished. Too much fighting amongst ourselves.
So more unity.
Yes, we got to work as a team to be able to move forward and make sure our community is safe, healthy, and our business is running smoothly.
All right. So let's go with this one from Deborah Parrish. Do you support the tribal council also taking a cut in pay to help reduce the $2.5 million cutbacks needed?
I mean, if that was the case, I would be for the cutbacks, or at least streamline the meetings or combine the meetings so it's more efficient.
There you go.
From what I understand right now, is there are about 5 to 6 meetings a month. They have a work session once a month, and I don't know how efficient that is, so maybe eliminate that.
Okay.
I don't know the actual details on how the work session works or what gets accomplished, but
yeah,
that may be something to look into.
Yeah, that's what I meant in the beginning, where some of these questions are framed in a certain way.
I know there's a lot of meetings that are all day, so
yeah,
I mean, they must be full of decision making that needs to be done, and I don't hear too much about the work sessions, so that's why I said maybe eliminate that.
Yeah, something you'd have to learn about.
Right.
Another one from Deborah Parrish. Do you support tribal members who live in Harvey District or Ontonagon having a seat on the tribal council?
And that would be the whole voting right thing?
No, I think this would be a little different. This means that they would have somebody on council representing them.
Right.
So I think that'd take different changes than the voting. But I'm not sure.
I'd be all for it. Just that there's a casino there. They do pretty much everything we do here. So I wouldn't be opposed to it.
All right, very good. You guys are getting more and more efficient as you come into the studio, because I think we kind of covered a lot of the bullet points. Is there a topic or issue that, you're going to get a chance to speak to the voters towards the end, but before we get to that, is there other topics or issues that we haven't covered yet that you'd like to cover?
That's something that crossed my mind when we were setting the camera, but now it totally slipped my mind.
That's how it goes, too, that it's like fishing. You get a bite, but then it's gone.
Well, I didn't expect you to go running out of the room like that.
My grandpa comes down to visit sometimes. Oh, here's another question I didn't ask, and this is one I ask a lot. Carrie Ashbrook, with the growing epidemic on drug abuse, increased tribal children in foster care, what has the tribe done to battle or should be doing to decrease this ongoing problem?
See, somebody had come up to me not too long ago and was talking about the drug court, and had some questions from another person running, talking about the drug court and stuff like that. And opiates right now are terrible. Even heroin and cocaine are out there, and we see that quite a bit in the casino from people dropping it or whatever the case may be. Educating our youth and participating in these trainings and is a good way to try to break down that addiction and stuff. But I feel also that people that go through the drug court, I mean, there's no ongoing support afterwards after they graduate, or there's people that have graduated that I've talked to that have a heck of a time getting a job.
Okay.
So they're not being accepted back into the community like they should to help them stay clean. We should be working with the court and try to get these people to work. Like I said, we're shorthanded in every department.
Yeah.
You know, if they graduate through the drug court system, we should be overlooking that and help them, encourage them to stay clean. But it's like we just turn our backs to them after they've graduated. And I mean, and a lot of them go right back to the drugs.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing for them to do. They're frustrated. They can't get a job. They can't get housing.
Yep.
And it just seems like we're turning our backs to them. And
That's that never-ending cycle, basically.
right.
Okay, so here's another bullet point we didn't really get to. Well, you did mention a bit. You wanted to learn more about culture after that first couple terms in council. How do you hold culture in your life?
Well, as me growing up in high school, and I had, natives that were my friends and stuff, but when I was growing up, it was never in the school system, and it was never really talked about. But as I'm growing older, I'm more into it and trying to learn it more. And it was kind of funny because when my oldest daughter graduated from high school, and I was so proud when the drummers were in there drumming for graduation, and now they're doing a language program in schools. And it's nice to see that the schools are getting more into that also. So that's good to see.
So you felt proud when those drummers were there?
Yeah, it was.
So that's what I mean, because I'm getting a lot of those. That story is similar. Like, it just wasn't around. It wasn't talked about and stuff.
Right.
But then as soon as you get that first step in there, you just feel that feeling.
Yeah. And now my daughters are more into it more than I was when I was their age. And I'm learning off of them as they're learning from me. And it's nice to see that the culture's coming back.
It's good to hear. All right, so looking through these questions here, I think, again, I can just ask you one more time. Do you have another topic or issue that we could talk about that I haven't really brought up?
I think I pretty much covered everything that I wanted to.
I think so, too, unless I'm just completely forgetting something. Again, I'm not really sure. If I am, I apologize. But otherwise, I guess we can give you this opportunity then to address your voters.
Well, like I said, my name's Don Messer. I'm looking for everybody's support and me for tribal council. Like I said, I have a business degree, so I would like to see our businesses grow and
Just
run
progress in the
smoothly,
future.
basically. And, I would like also for all of us to work as a team instead of all this bickering back and forth. We're all working for the same thing, and another topic what I wanted to say about a question earlier is it doesn't matter whose name is on a certain subject or a certain task or whatever, but we should all be working together. Not everybody has bad ideas, but if the council's working together for a simple goal, they should be able to work together to make that bad idea a better one.
Yep.
That will work for the community. So I'm hoping that everybody sees that I'm passionate about this, and I'll work hard for everybody. I do believe I'm a voice for everybody. So please vote for me.
Thank you for coming down today.
Thank you.